The problem's not aiming high and missing, it's aiming low and hitting. You know, I've actually started working from home one day a week just so I can really get some laser focused work done for the growth of CMG. And it was good to come back in this morning and be able to know that we're knocking it out of the park with the results for our clients. You know, one of our clients are on track to have their best month ever. They'll write $400,000 worth of business this month. And admittedly, we've been running their campaign for months. They've been in business for years. They came to us from another digital agency where they're actually happy with the results, but we looked at what they were doing and we were like, are you happier to get better results? You know, again, we've been knocking it out of the park, but one thing that we always say here at CMG is there's always a better way. There's always something else that we could potentially be looking at. What are we missing? What can we change? What are the nuances that can really take a particular campaign and take it to the next level?
Our ultimate KPI was 17 leads per day. That was
his dream.
We benchmarked at around, it's almost 30.
Oh, wow.
So hoping that continues. We'll obviously try and optimise to make sure that it does, but that was a real big win for us. And
sometimes when you're setting a KPI, you're really basing it off a premise, or you're basing it off, we would like to do this because we want to hit this particular target. Some businesses set extremely unrealistic KPIs and some businesses set extremely realistic, in fact, not even challenging KPIs. The goal for us when we work with a company, work with a business, is to try and identify, first of all, what is the maximum KPI, what's the maximum CPA that you're willing to invest to acquire a customer, and then you reverse engineer and you refine and try and get better and better and better with that. You know, just recently, again, we set a particular KPI with a client, and within the first week, we've almost doubled what we originally set. Now, we could almost go, yay, we got double, that's amazing, the client's happy, we're extremely happy, but we celebrate, and then we go, okay, great, that's amazing, but how can we get even better? Because we do believe there's always a better way to refine. There's always a particular benchmark that you can hit that you might not thought possible. I heard Les Brown say this once. He goes, the problem's not aiming high and missing, it's aiming low and hitting. And that is so profound when you actually think about it, because you could be setting such low expectations on yourself and your business that you're just hitting them and you think you're winning, but you know you're not really winning.
Let me get it, let me put it down. One time for anybody out there following their dreams. Anybody in the city we can do jobs so they can get to bigger, better things. You can't see the hours that I put in. Every day and night, go to every trick or right, go to every bit of made just to hit them with the fade when I stick it to the people that told me that I couldn't, yeah.
I was having a look at the add to carts from the period before the website change and after the website change, and they're 4 or 5 times as many add to carts. So that is directly contributing to the improvement we've seen in the ROAS as well. So
in the last 24 hours?
In the last few days.
Since the website changes?
Update, yeah.
Go team! Yeah!
What I find astonishing is sometimes it's the smallest micro changes can make a macro difference. One client in particular, we have been getting amazing sales, doing extremely well, 6, 7, 8 times return on ad spend for this particular product. And again, it said, how do we get better? What can we do? We noticed there was, you know, a lot of cart abandonment on their e-commerce store. I didn't even come up with this, and this probably would have been one of my 10th in the line changes if I had to make a change. But by simply changing the add to cart button, instead of saying add to cart, we said totally transform 5 times more adds to cart by changing the language on the button. Now I know changing the language on the button is not anything new. You know, Facebook actually allow you to split test that with the learn more, download now, sign up, etc. But people think that add to cart has been add to cart for so long that, oh, I shouldn't change that because that's what should be there, right? And you've got to look at that, 5 times more adds to cart is going to mean massive amounts more sales. You know, so not only did we get to generate more customers with the original same amount of ad spend that you'd be spending, because the traffic's still being sent there, you know, you can drastically change campaigns and you can drastically change businesses by making these small nuanced changes. It's unbelievable. Alrighty, doing some behind the scenes, just heading into the media room here. got this guy setting up. Got our lights, look at that. See the behind the scenes, the real behind the scenes. There's a light laying on the ground just to give that tree a little bit of. So basically I'm gonna be sitting here. Got a light blaring right at me. That'll be blurred out. It'll be like this sort of, but much better. You know what I'm trying to do here. Talk to the sock. Actually what we'll do is we'll just throw up a piece of what it really looks like. I'll give you, if you want to know what equipment we use. Actually I'm not going to do that because then I have to not make too much extra work. I was like, swipe up and we'll send you somewhere. No, we won't, because we won't do that. All right, are we ready? We'll film all these videos in one take. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I've been able to personally spend over $2 million on Facebook advertising. Are you even ready for a digital marketing agency? 5 extremely important factors to look for when hiring a digital marketing agency. Yes, something significant happened this week. One of our, actually employee number 1 of CMG has flown the coop, spread the wings and flown. It's always hard to lose a team member, but in the same token, it's if it's based off the right reasons for both parties. And in Chris's case, he's got some exciting things happening in his life at the moment. And one thing I've got to say is he drove an hour and a half. And for you watching the vlog, you never would have known this, but he drives an hour and a half to work and an hour and a half home. And unfortunately, I know what you're thinking of, why would you do that? That's crazy. And I thought that too, but he loved his role, he loved his position, he loved what we're creating here, but unfortunately at this time, that commute's no longer going to be applicable to what's going on in his life. And we wanted to sort of make a little bit of a thing of it. We created a little bit of a video montage, which is another really cool thing about actually us videoing this entire journey. Actually, you know what? As of filming this right now, today is 1 year since we've came into this building. Actually, it feels like 10 years, but it feels like yesterday, It's actually quite freaky when you stop and look and go, what have we created? It's amazing. So yeah, I want to make a little bit of a thing of it. We had a bit of a team lunch, and we've got to say our words and thank each other for what we've been able to do. It's funny, every time I share that Les Brown thing, in my head I'm like, I hope I say this around the right way, because I've said it around the wrong way so many times. Instead of saying add to cart, we said, blank it out, don't tell them. Don't tell them. We said add to basket.